Hey, Waj Gaming here. I'm back again with another video. So as requested, most of you asked for a tier list for striker units in the game. So that's what I got here. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, don't forget to smash the like button and leave your comments below as well by the end of the video if you agree with any of these and if you have any other of your opinions. So again, these are just my opinions and thoughts in the game. Everyone has their own opinions and thoughts. Do let me know in the comments. So let's get into the video. So what we're going to do first is look them up as types. So first we'll look at the electric types. So we've got 4 electric strikers in the game. For me, hands down, Zekrom is the best of the best in terms of electric strikers. Then I'll go with Zebra Striker, then Alone, Raichu and Pikachu. So Zekrom goes there at the top because of its passives. It hits hard with Bolt Strike, and the reason why Zebra Striker is at A is it's just I don't like that recoil damage. I'm not really a fond of person who likes Pokemon to have recoil damage, and then you're gonna just have to heal them up. I know they have steadfast and stuff in the grid, but I'm not really a fan of it. Next it's Alone, Raichu and Pikachu. So again, Alone Raichu can AoE with Discharge, raise evasiveness, special attack, speed, and then you've got Pikachu who can heal, and if you do add them up they do hit kind of the same, although Raichu does have inertia, which is pretty handy to have. Next we're going to the water type striker. So again we've got 4. Hands down, Sharpedo goes right there at the top. It is a sync new car. If you 6-star EX it can wipe out the field. Next will be Napoleon. Now I would put Napoleon here, but he hasn't got 6-star EX yet. It will get it, so for now it's going here. Again with Cakewalk and inertia, it does hit hard. Next we have Feraligatr. Again, it's got a grid. The grid isn't that good, but it was one of the best water type Pokemon in the game. Grid system came out, everyone used to spam Mega Kick in co-op, but now it stays there in B. And the last one is Cloytzar. Again, it is a good unit to have, but he hasn't got a grid, so it goes down here at the bottom. Next we have ground type. We've only got 2, so Dina, please, we need more. We got Garchomp, so I'm gonna put Garchomp here only because it's relying on a sand team. So if your Pokemon are not sand specific, it won't work well. It needs Surging Sand, Sands of Time, whatever sand tiles it's got, it needs it. And it needs those sand Pokemon around it for it to be activated, like Palossand and Kabutops. So yeah, so that's why it goes there. I really would have liked to put it there in S, but it's not as versatile. And next we have Hapu. Again, I'm gonna put it down here at the bottom. It hasn't got a grid. Full stop. Next we go to Pug. So again, Pug, we've got 6. So Beedrill and Pinsir for me go right here because no grids. Golisopod, it's good. I like to use it, but not as much. So I'm gonna stick it here. Lavani, I'm gonna put here. Lucamine, Pheromosa, I'm gonna put here. Pheromosa I would have liked to put up here, but the defenses. Whenever you get attacked by a Sync move, it's gonna die. And then the last one, Volcarona, for me goes all the way here at the top. I mean, that Hyper Beam, it can buff all of its own stats, special attack and crit, and then it's got Rejuvenate 6. So for me, it goes right there at the top. Next is fighting. We have got 4 fighting Pokemon. That's strikers. Again, these will go here because, again, no grid. Then we've got Lucario. So Lucario for me it's got that 6-star EX. For me, they're both similar and they both go up here. Again, they both can buff up their own stats. They both hit hard. They're both 6-star EX. So again, one's free to play, one Gallade, you've got a Scout, but for me, they're both good fighting type strikers. Moving on to Steel Pokemon, a Lone Dog Trio. Again, we're going to stick it here because no grid. So Galeo for me as well. I'm going to stick here, not only because it hasn't got a grid, but because of its trainer moves. It uses up move gauges and it does take time to buff up its stats. Zacian. If I compare the two together, they are similar, but for me Metagross edges it, and Metagross can AoE sync nuke if you got it at 6-star EX. Hands down one of the best strikers to hit in terms of physical. Zacian then I'll stick here. It is similar, but the difference is Metagross can flinch, which is handy as well in Master Mode and Champion Stadium or Legendary Arena. Moving on to Dark, Houndoom and Martiana. The only thing I think that separates them is the 6-star EX. I love using Martiana. Halloween Healbot is amazing to use. Houndoom, I love it that it flinches. It's got Mega Evolution, it's got Dark Pulse, it can lower special attack, it can raise its attacks. But the difference between them is that it can't 6-star EX, so it's going up there. Moving on to Flying type Pokemon. So we've got Nate and Bravery. Again, I'm going to stick it here. I'll explain why in a minute. Gyarados for me goes here. Pidgeot goes here as well. And I would say Volatile goes here. Nate and Bravery again, it wasn't really good to begin with. I mean, the stats is just a bit of a letdown. Lance, I know some people may argue with me and put it at S, but I don't like recoil damage. Hyper Beam does hit hard. I'm just not a fan of Lance. So that's why I put it there. It can go here, but if I look at the Pokemon that are up here and the S category, it doesn't hit as hard. I mean, I know it's got brutal clarity on the grid and it can buff up its own stats, but it doesn't hit as hard as the others. Now your Volatile can heal and absorb HP, and it's got Dark Power 5. I know we're talking about specific types, but it's versatile as well, and it is a really good Pokemon, so I'm putting it up there. Moving on to Ghost, Chandelier quickly goes here, no grid. Miss Magius, I'd say goes here. Driftbelm I prefer over Miss Magius, so I'm going to put it here, especially in Master Mode. I prefer to use that over Miss Magius. It just deals a bit more damage, and also when it faints as well, it's got the last word. So yeah, let's move on to Ice. Avalog I'm going to leave there in the pool. I'm not even going to put it on no grid. I'm not a fan of it. I hardly ever use it. It's only specific. And we've got Dewgong. Dewgong is miles better. Dewgong I'll put at B. I learned Sand Slash from me goes all the way here at the top. I love to use it. I know it hasn't got 6-star EX, but the way it hits, has icy terrain, self heals, powers up critical hit and attack, accuracy as well. It hits hard and it can freeze. It's amazing to use in Ice team. Moving on to Fire. Ho-Oh for me as well goes here, no grid, so for me goes there. Infernape for me goes here. I'll explain in a minute why. Typhlosion with the grid in the Sun team, I'll put it here. Emboar as well, I'll put here. It does hit hard. And then we've got Leon and Charizard, and we've got SS Red and Charizard, and they both go right here. I mean, Leon and Charizard, SS Red and Charizard, I don't have to say anything. We all know why they go there. Typhlosion with the grid and the Sun team, perfect for it to go in A. does a lot of damage, can AoE with Eruption. Embor as well, it hits hard. If you look at the grid, it can be a sync nuker. Infernape, the reason why I put it there, I know it does hit hard, but you need to set it up and you need accuracy buffs, so it depends what team you're using it in. So yeah, so that's why it goes there. Grass type, we've got Sceptile and Roserade. I couldn't find Roserade here, but I've got Sceptile. For me, Sceptile is a grass type striker. It goes here with A. It's got ramming speed. It can be used in the Sun team. It can be used as a sync nuker. Does buff up his own stats. But yeah, that's all I can say. I mean, it does have 6-star EX, but when it comes to grass type Pokemon, I do use Venusaur and a lot of other type of grass type tech units that do a bit more than this. So that's why I'll put it there. Moving on to Poison. Scolipede I put here, along with Arbok. Salazzle, we'll just stick it here at B. Salazzle is more like a techie unit rather than a striker unit. The grid does let it down. And the other two are just no grid, so that's why they're over there. Moving on to Psychic. Solrock for me goes here because of no grid. Mewtwo for me just edges it. I know it hasn't got a grid, but it does hit hard. It's got a Psychic, you can buff up its evasive and critical hit, so it does do well on that aspect, along with Ranunculus, so it does go there with Caitlyn. It's more of a techie unit rather than a striker unit. Moving on to Rock. Rampardos, so I'm going to leave here. It does have high HP, but that recoil damage is a bit of a nightmare. Tyranitar for me goes here. No grid is a bit of a letdown. I think they should give this a grid. And then we've got Lycanroc. For me, Lycanroc goes all the way up here, up in A. I mean, it's an amazing unit before it had a grid. With a grid, it just makes it a bit better. Not as good as the rest at the top tier, but it is a really good unit. Moving on to Dragon. Now for me, Palkia with the new grid and with Hyper Beam. Sorry, not Hyper Beam, my bad. Hydro Pump and Critical Strike 11. When you have Critical Strike 9 in the passives, and then you add Critical Strike 2 with a lucky skill, for me goes up here in terms of damage. I'm going to put here in B. Again, what more can I say about Kingdra? It is a good unit, but we've got better Dragon type Pokemon. Yeah. Rayquaza, no grid. I don't really use it. I know it's a good unit, but I prefer to use Pokemon with grids. Then we've got Dragonite. For me, Dragonite goes up here with Palkia. Again, I'm not a fan of Lance. So that's why it goes there. I don't like that recoil damage, but again, Hyper Beam does do a lot of damage, and if you 6-star EX it is a powerful Pokemon. Next one we've got is Haxorus. Haxorus again I'm going to put here. I mean, Confusing Boom is amazing. It hit like a tank. It hit so hard. But my favourite Dragon type Pokemon out of all of them is Komao. So Komao for me goes all the way here, right at the top. Clanging Scales AoE, Sync Move AoE. It's got high five in the grid, can +2 on all stats, and reduce Sync Move countdown. It can paralyze as well. It's an amazing unit. I love it to use as a striker. Sylveon, again no grid. For me goes down here. Jigglypuff, we'll put it up in A. Gardevoir is a bit of a contradictory because it is coming out. I prefer to comment on units that are out, but I did stick it in here. For now, because I haven't used it, just looking at the stats and everything, I'm just going to put it here with Jigglypuff. And then Slacking, the only normal type striker that we have in the game, I'm going to leave it there at D. So I don't really think anyone does use it. No Pokemon is weak to normal. Moves are a bit okay. No sync grid. Yeah, that's all I could say. I don't think anyone uses Slacking. So this is the sync grid section up here from B and above. C was mainly Pokemon without grids. They are good, but without the grid, if you compare them with the rest of them on the tier list, then they're not as good. So this is my tier list. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with this. Do you agree with what I put in? Would you change anything else? If you did like the video, smash the like button. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe. I will be doing one on this with support units and with tech units as well, so keep a lookout for that. And keep a lookout for my master mode prep video, where I'll be going through all the units that I'll be using in my master mode from next week, for free to play and for 7,500 points. So yeah, so see you all later.